Hi sluts, I just filmed this entire video only to find out that my camera wasn't recording, so we're gonna get through this. I wish I had some amazing life updates for you, but this week has kind of been just normal. I feel like most of the time I come alive during the summertime, and that just has not been the case at all. I heard in the transits, the astrological transits, it's a melancholy summer, and I absolutely feel that. So, just been trying to get some writing done. I'm still working on the second chapter of Theory of Hunger, but it's like the second chapter I'm in love with. This is my masterpiece. This is my magnum opus. I am so proud of it. Of the second chapter, it almost makes me want to rewrite the first one. And then the essay for this week, I'm hoping will be up by the time that I post this. I'm going to put the essay on Substack, and then the related podcast is going to be on my Patreon, because honestly, the story that I'm going to share is one of my earliest sexual experiences. It's a terrifying story. It makes me shake just to tell it. So I don't think I've even told some of my closest friends this story. So it's going to be behind a paywall, and I don't think I can talk about it publicly. But for this episode, I'm going to do a Q&A. You're going to meet the Saint Slut. I'd like to talk to you more about my blog, who I am, what I stand for. Not really much. Not anything good. Just kidding. So let's jump right into it. Thank you so much to everybody who gave me questions on Instagram. Really appreciate your contributions. So this person wants to know, how old are you? Where are you from? Occupation, general info. My name is Emily. I'm 26 years old and I live in Los Angeles, California. I am a writer, content creator, and a bad bitch. Someone said, how come you won't let me send you money? Now, I've talked about this in a previous episode where as soon as I put my Cash App in my bio or whatever it is, people get really upset. People don't like that. And I'm not letting them win by not putting my Cash App in my bio, but the best way to support me is subscribing to my Patreon, interacting with my content. But if you do really want to send me some money, this is my PayPal. It's at Saint Slut. Someone else said, what is your favorite feminine trait and masculine trait? I love when you guys challenge me to say something good about men. My favorite masculine trait is big dick. My favorite feminine trait is all of them, because women can do no wrong unless you're evil, like Hillary Clinton. Someone said, why do you put the Virgin Mary behind you on the wall? I've gotten a lot of questions about this, a lot of DMs, comments. The reason is because Saint Slut is a spiritual slut and sort of connected to this sinful body, a bit hedonistic. So I need all the prayers that I can get. And aside from that, Virgin Mary is not a virgin. She's a fucking liar. Someone else asked, have you ever been the toxic one? I'm always the toxic one. I need someone who matches that toxicity. It has to come from both ways. Have you ever fallen in love with someone you couldn't have? Yes. What's your most unpopular dating opinion? I think that something that is an unpopular opinion of mine is that I think that there's always a sacrifice when it comes to relationships. Nothing's ever perfect. It can be perfect for you, but it's never going to be 100% unflawed, if that makes any sense. And with that being said, I don't think that there's anything wrong with a 50-50 relationship. It's never truly 50-50. I always think that there's one person is bringing a little bit more. It's their own version of what is more, what they have to offer. So with that being said, I think I sort of believe in more of a 60-40. I do think that, when you go out to dinner, you want the man to get the check, at least sometimes. So I saw this woman post one time. She was like, I don't take dating advice from women who are in 50-50 relationships. Good for you, you know? Like, if that's your prerogative, by all means. But I don't think that there's really anything inherently wrong with splitting the bills. And to ignore that, it's almost just like out of touch with reality because everything's so expensive anymore. The world is sort of designed to have a dual income relationship. If you find a man who can support you, otherwise, by all means. But really, the most paramount thing is having somebody who loves you, who respects you, who makes you feel seen and chosen and loved, and all those things. And it's really not about money. What's the biggest misconception about female desire? I think that female desire is often held in a very delicate threshold of rough sex and intimacy. I think the term pleasure dom sort of fits to what a lot of women like, but then it's like, I don't know. A lot of pleasure doms are just really corny. So it's a balancing act with female desire. It can never be 100% one way. It's like very fragile. What's something that instantly creates chemistry? I don't think that chemistry is necessarily created. Like it's either there or it's not. I think that you're predetermined to vibe with someone or not. So I don't think that there's anything that can create chemistry, but I do think that there's ways that you can like kind of check that. Kissing someone, really great way to check if there's chemistry. What's the sexiest quality someone can have? I think the sexiest quality that someone can have is aura, like swag. Someone who can talk the talk and walk the walk, someone who doesn't fumble over the words, just like good charisma. What scares you the most? Failure. I think I was thinking about it recently, actually, and I think that some of my most strongly held beliefs are surrounding this idea that so long as you continue to try to work for the life that you want to live, whatever your goal is, no matter how far fetched or how mundane, as long as you continue to seek it, continue to take meaningful steps towards it, you will achieve it. But something that I uncovered about myself recently was like, what if you never do achieve it? What if that success never actually comes? But I guess that the idea is that so as long as you're working towards what it is you want, you should be able to find fulfillment in that. But never receiving it is definitely a terrifying thing for me to think about. Do you think people can truly change? I think yes. I think that people who have wandered down such a horrible path, whether it be, how do I want to say this? Reckless self righteousness. So, sort of like a narcissist. Or could it be a bad path of drugs and, doing things that are harmful to themselves? I think that people can change from that, but I do think that like our core selves really do remain the same. And I would like to believe that who we are at our core is good. I think that in and of itself that like in our hearts that we are good people. And it's like the world that taints us and makes us make bad decisions. But as long as we make the conscious effort to turn back from that and choose that good person that's inside of us, I think that people can change, but I do think it's rare. What's a story you never told online? It's the one that I'm sharing on my Patreon today. Long story short, when I was very young, flew across the country, didn't tell anyone that I was doing it, didn't tell anybody that I was doing it alone, stayed at a random stranger's house, and if you want to hear the whole thing, you're just going to have to watch the video. Oh, the next question is, have you ever run away from home? I was like constantly running away as a kid. I just had this like inherent urge to chase a life that wasn't mine and see what else was out there. And I'm honestly like, as it wasn't good or safe things for someone so young to be doing, but I'm like honestly still trying to I'm trying to get that fervor back. Do you believe in fate? I absolutely believe in fate. I think that the people in your life, the people who've been put into your life, the people that you meet are all there for a reason, and I think that nothing is coincidental. Everything happens for a reason, and call it fate, call it karma. What's the meaning of love to you? For me, I think it's safety and excitement, feeling seen and understood, and I think that's the biggest part, is being seen fully and completely and having that be accepted. It's acceptance. Do you think we're meant to find one person? I think that it's all a journey, and I think that we along the way we can find people that shape us and shift us. And I think some people are put into our life just simply so we can overcome them. But that doesn't mean that you weren't supposed to experience them, even if it's not the person who you end up with. But I do think that, if your desire is to meet one person who you'd like to spend your life with, then I think you can do that. But again, going back to, I think everybody was put into our life for a reason. You cross paths with people, sometimes only for a brief, fleeting moment, but it was meant to happen nonetheless. What's your guilty pleasure? Wine. I honestly love a glass of white wine to wind down. What's the weirdest DM you've ever gotten? I wouldn't say this is a weird DM, but like the first one that comes into mind was Chloe Cherry's stylist once reached out to me and said, "Do you live in LA?" And I said yes. And then I never heard from her again. But shouts out. Like, Chloe Cherry's doing great things. Do your parents know about your content? Absolutely not. Okay, this will be the last one. What fictional character are you most attracted to? I don't think that there's one who I really spend a lot of time thinking about, but the first one that comes to mind is, who was it? Henry Cavill, who played The Witcher. He was Summertime Fine in The Witcher, and I would that's not my type at all, but goddamn, Henry, if you're watching this, just kidding. I don't think I think that he was hotter as The Witcher than he is his actual person. That was kind of the start of my gender war debate. I remember he posted something on International Men's Day, and it was he said Happy International Men's Day, and I commented just being silly and said, "Where were you on March 8th?" And so many men were upset at me in the comments. It was a joke. Get your panties out of a wad. And then secondly, kind of gay to be celebrating International Men's Day. Whatever. Oh no, I'll do one more question. So what's your goal with Saint Slut? My goal is to create a community where people can relate about sensuality and explore their thoughts, feelings, and desires. I'm going to create a world where, I can experience even my darkest fantasies. So thank you so much for being part of that journey. That's all for today. Again, thank you for watching, and see you next week. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode. As a reminder, we are now on Patreon. You can find us by typing in Saint Slut. You can also text me your thoughts, your confessions at 321-376-7588. If you want to hear more of Saint Slut's thoughts, you can find me on Substack at Saint Slut Pod. I'm also on Instagram at Saint__slut. You can also find me on TikTok at Saint_slut with a V. See you next week. Bye.